Do you want to be the kind of woman that men would risk their lives for? They would scale a mountain or slay the dragon in order to have you marry them? Well, keep watching this video because I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to become that marriage material woman. Hi, I'm Jason Silver. I am the dating coach for ambitious women. You have just stepped into my channel, Attract Great Guys, where every single week we go through attraction strategies, trainings to understand men, how to build deep, lifelong relationships with high quality guys. Not these guys, these MG Tao guys, if you know what that is, men going their own way who say they don't need women. If you're a woman who really hates men and just thinks that they're all horrible, move on to the next channel. This is not for you. This is for optimistic, ambitious, mastery-driven women who believe in the power of love, who believe that there are great guys out there, and who want to attract a loving, committed relationship with a high-quality man. If that is you, then this is the right channel for you. I would love to have you as a subscriber, as part of this crew. Just hit the red subscribe button beneath this video in the description and the little notification bell right next to it so you get notified of all of my upcoming trainings. And let's jump right into today where we're talking about being marriage material. Now, the first thing, this is so important, you have to get this out of your mind, this idea of being attractive to all men, of being the woman that all men want, that you look at a man and bam, you can make him want to marry you. That is a load of garbage. In fact, it actually works the opposite. The more that you try to be attractive to all men, the less you become attractive to the men that you truly are meant to be with. Let's think about this for a second. All men are different, just as all women are different. And the idea of marriage and of sharing a life with each other, it's going to be totally different depending on each man. So if you're trying to become marriage material, well, that's going to be aligned with what the man who's ideal for you wants and with what you want. There has to be a match there, right? Let's say one guy's idea of marriage is to have 40 different partners and be polyamorous and to just travel the world and only see your wife maybe once every 6 months. I guarantee you there's someone out there that is their ideal marriage. Now, for you, if you're watching this channel, I'm going to assume that is not your ideal marriage. And so for you to become marriage material to all men, that's not going to work. That's not ideal. So what you want and have to do is you have to be polarizing. You have to be unafraid to repel men. You have to actually try to be magnetic, where certain men are deeply, powerfully attracted to you and other men are very strongly repelled. You'll even see in the comment section, I do this myself on this channel. Okay, I am speaking to women who actually have a love for men and who actually want to be in a lifelong committed relationship. And you can see the women who dislike men and don't want that in the comments, because those are the women that are saying, why don't you teach this just to men? And listen, there's plenty of dating coaches out there for men, and I guarantee you we need coaches and support just as much as anyone. But obviously this channel is for women, and you'll see that the women that have a strong hatred or disdain for men, they don't even hear what we're talking about here. They're not even engaged in this conversation because all of a sudden they see, dating advice, dating coach for women, and they're immediately angry. And that's good. If I'm not being polarizing, if people aren't upset with what I'm saying, then I'm obviously not speaking to my ideal woman, to my ideal crew member, my ideal viewer. So obviously, if women who hate men are in the comment section saying, you're doing a great job, way to go, Jason, then I'm not being polarizing enough. Okay, so I actually hope to get more of those women in the comments. And if you think that I'm full of it, and if you think men are horrible, please do comment. It helps this video to get seen by more people. So I appreciate you just as much as I appreciate everyone else. So that's really the first rule. And I call this the power of polarity, which is not to be afraid to be polarizing, not to be afraid to be yourself and to scare away certain types of men. If men are put off or turned off by you, by how you look, by your personality, well then say goodbye, because it's important for you to find someone, not to change who you are authentically, but to find someone who is going to appreciate you for you. That is the first and most important rule. And if you take anything away from this video, it is that the power of polarity is very real, it's very important, And if you're not applying it, you are not attracting the right kind of guy. In fact, a lot of the dating advice YouTube videos out there are all about how you can manipulate men to like you or change how you're perceived so men will like you. And that's doing the opposite. That's basically saying that, oh, well, I'm going to try to attract a guy who doesn't even really like me, and it'll work. I promise you that will work in the moment. You'll attract him, and then a year later or several months later, or at worst, years and years later, eventually it's not going to work because he fell in love with someone who's not you. Okay, so that's the first thing, is the power of polarity. And we can actually see this in the old sales paradigm versus the new sales paradigm. The old sales paradigm, if you went into a retail store or if you tried to buy anything, anywhere, it was the first thing the salesman tried to do is get your attention. The next thing he tried to do is tell you about his product, all the great features and benefits, because he assumed that you wanted to buy it. And if you came up with any kind of objection and say, no, I don't, it's not really for me, he would just come up with a reason why your objection is invalid and keep trying to sell it to you. And it was just this very wearing you down, and it worked. It's like a numbers game, right? You play that game with enough people and you're gonna push your product on some people. But that sales paradigm is extinct. It's no longer valid because now we have so many options, there's so many choices that there is a new paradigm emerging. And this paradigm is of the heart-centered, consultative sales approach, which basically means that I'm not going to try to sell this to you if it's not a good fit. The first thing that I'm going to do is learn about you and what you need, and then if my product or service is truly a good fit for you, then I'm going to evaluate that, make sure it is, and if it is, I'm going to educate you on why my product or service is the best solution for you. I'm going to share with you every reason why it is. And if it's not the right solution, well, then I'm going to educate you on why my product is not the right solution and refer you to someone who can help you. And this is the solution that is the only thing that is going to last and that is sustainable. In fact, if you are any of the hundreds of women who've been on the phone with me in the past year or two, you know that this is the approach that I take for women that are coming into my coaching programs. That many of you know that I have actually referred you elsewhere. I have turned you away, not because you're not the best client, but because my solution is not the best fit for you. I take this matter very personally, and I need to make sure that it is the right fit. And this is how dating and relationships have to be approached. This is so important. Instead of trying to be more attractive and push yourself on a man, it's important to understand, what does he really want and what does he really need? Because just because he wants a relationship, is that what he needs? Is a relationship with me best for him? Is it best for both of us? Because that's the key. Is it best for all? And if it is best for all, it's important to understand why. To understand what his goals are, what his lifelong goals are, what he values, what he wants to be doing in the short term, what he wants to be doing in the long term, what kind of family and home life he wants. Understanding all of these things are so important. And once you do truly understand him, it's only then that you can say without a shadow of a doubt, oh my gosh, we are actually a really good fit. And I am going to show you why we're a good fit, by taking action and talking about and moving towards these things that we both value and both want for ourselves. And that is how a healthy, committed, lifelong relationship truly begins. That's how it forms, and that's how you become marriage material. It's by first being polarizing and making sure that you're only attracting that right kind of man, and then it's by understanding your partner enough to truly believe that you are the right fit for him, and that not only do you believe that you're the right fit for him, but he sees it and knows it because you're both aligned with each other's desires. And this is how you avoid getting hurt. You can't inject your desires into another person. It has to be from a place of mutual understanding. And when you come from that place of mutual understanding, that is how the healthiest relationships are born. And if you want to go deep into this and learn more about the power of polarity and how to apply this, click the link below this description, and I will give you for free, instantly, access to my 4-part video training series that goes through these principles and how to build this kind of committed lifelong relationship. I would love to have you in there. And thank you for watching this video. It means the world to me. If you're not a subscriber already, please become one. If you haven't liked this video and you found just a little bit of value, please hit the like button. It really helps us to be seen by more women. And thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next week. All right, be well.